Hey yo, it's Dybro, and I am here with my week 1 battle of DGBA, and this is my first league battle in a while. I'm coming back here. For those who don't know what it is, we each drafted 10 to 12 Pokemon out of a pool. They're all ranked based on price, and we have to try to come up with the best team, and then we'll face each other and try to pick the best 6 to beat the other 6, and that is what we have here. My 6 Pokemon are on the bottom. The opponent, Dejuz, they're on the top. Before I dive into this, I want to show you guys my team that I drafted because this is the first week and I want to make sure you guys see what I'm going to be using throughout the week and why, in fact, I took the team I did. So, uh, I'm on the left, of course. The ones on the right are my opponents. So you can kind of look at the team and kind of figure out if you're so curious what he decided to bring and not bring. And I'll explain a little bit about the team I, in fact, brought after this. But first off, we got the Gliscor here. That was my first pick, and it's really just an incredible decoy. It commands more prep than any other defensive Pokemon. Next up, I took Mega Lopunny. It lost some value with the move Return being deleted as the fast, strong, normal type attacker it is, but I already wasn't using Return, so that doesn't lose much luster for me. I like using Retaliate and other moves anyway, so I'm fine with it. Slowking with Teleport and Regenerator now got a lot better. It's a good sponge and it keeps momentum of the battle moving your way. Scizor, fun fact, actually used to be my favorite Pokemon. It's a good active steel type that, again, it goes with the momentum theme I was building early. Roserade gives me spikes and toxic spikes. With my first 4 Pokemon, I didn't have much in the entry hazards. Those will make my opponent's switches get punished, and that helps me control the momentum of the battle. Next up here, I have Gothitelle. With having other Pokemon be momentum focused, Gothitelle's Shadow Tag becomes a much more dangerous weapon. Gothitelle is something that fundamentally changes the way your opponent has to strategize for your team, and that's why I got it. I want it to be as frustrating as possible to prepare for. Tyranitar, as some of you know, is my old mascot, and as my dude Bob Marley says, one love. Blacephalon, just a menace in the offense, and it's kind of the right hook behind the jab that is Lopunny. If Lopunny is working as a jab, Blacephalon's kind of the right hook coming in behind it. Next up, Vikavolt. This is my second last pick. For 8 points, there weren't a lot of Pokemon left that were difference makers in the game. Vikavolt's a difference maker. It's durable, it's a slow pivot, and it has Sticky Web, which are just a completely confounding move to battle against if you can't keep them at bay. So Vikavolt will be my 9th mon there. And with my last one, I got Shedinja. And it's 1 point, and it was just marginally less useless than the other Pokemon that only cost 1 point. That's what I had left. So that is my team there. And I will go over here. And this is my team. I'm just making sure I have the view right, and I do. So I have a Lopunny. I'm running a Retaliate set with Fake Out, Close Combat, Speed to beat Mega Absol. I have an Air Balloon Scizor, which will allow me to come in on Mamoswine and threaten him back. Mamoswine without the Scizor is very threatening to me. Air Balloon makes me a more reliable switch-in. Gothitelle here could trap a number of things. It could trap a Defogger to set up Vikavolt. It could set up a counter to Blacephalon or Lopunny, depending on where I want my win condition to go in the battle. Gothitelle's just kind of a chess piece that can move in any different direction, but will definitely be threatening to the opponent when I do see the 6 Pokemon he brought and I decide what I'm going to be using it for exactly. Next up here, I've got Vikavolt. It's a Sticky Web user. Potential lead, I might want to get those up right away. Me bringing Sticky Web means I don't have to worry about his because we would get that neutral trade-off, and then I have Blacephalon with the heavy-duty boots, which would stop the effects of Sticky Web. So Blacephalon could take advantage if we both match with webs, and that's why I wanted them there. Next up here, I have the aforementioned Blacephalon, and I'm just running a boot set with Substitute, Calm Mind. Psychic is there for Kamo. I have the move to hit Kamo on every Pokemon. That is a very threatening thing, and I am not going to give it any turns to try to take advantage of my team. Which is why I have the offensive Roserade here. Potentially dangerous in webs. Otherwise, it can just be a good defensive switch-in, particularly to Waters. He had 2 offensive Waters on his team, Keldeo being the big one. Dazzling Gleam hits a Kamo, and then Sleep Powder pretty much hits anything else its regular moves don't hit. So we will get this set up so I can get back to on the battle. Now here, I could have let off with Lopunny, I could have let off with Vikavolt. I was going to decide one of the two when I saw the matchup. But actually, he wound up bringing 6 Pokemon that I would be okay leading Scizor against. And you never want to miss an opportunity to get an early 6-5 score. Just get one of their Pokemon down and put them on the back foot early. If you have any opportunities to get them on the back foot, you have to go after them. And I decided I would do just that and lead off with my Scizor. Now he's going to lead off with Mamoswine. Mamoswine, particularly seeing the air balloon on Scizor, it doesn't want to be here. I'm going to assume that he's going to want to switch, and if he was to switch, the 2 most likely things he would bring in would be Keldeo or Kamo. So I just go for dual Wing Beat. If he does stay in with Mamoswine, nothing he can do is going to hurt me more than Wing Beat hurts him. So it's not bad in really any circumstance. He sets up Stealth Rocks, which is a risky play, but you know what? Fair enough. He gets a decent trade-off out of the first turn. So he switches into Mew, and I just click Bullet Punch this turn. I'm going to see that that Mew is very defensive, and knowing it's defensive, I thought it would be a good opportunity to try to bring Gothitelle in and try to trick it, give it the specs, and kind of make it less useful, really open things up for some of my physical attackers. That's what I was thinking by going into Goth here. But he is actually going to play me here and click the U-turn, and that was a very good play for him. Because now he can bring in Absol, and I don't have a good defensive switch in to Absol. Like, Scizor would be my best, but he probably has Fire Blast. I have to assume he has the Fire Blast, so I don't have a better play than just letting my Gothitelle go down here. So the Mew being U-turn and clicking it as I tried to bring Gothitelle in was a very smart read by my opponent, and I have to go and give him credit for that. And it will start him off actually 6-5, and I'm going to be on the back foot a little bit. You know, I'm starting to sweat a little bit here. Things are getting uncomfortable. But Absol coming in and getting a kill, there's a reason I didn't bring a defensive answer to it, and that's because he's going to have a tough time dealing with my Lopunny. We know that his Mew's not Rocky Helmet, so I'm not going to get punished too much from hitting it, even if it does take my hits. And it also means I'm free to U-turn on that thing, so he has a real tough time defensively responding to Lopunny. Part of that's what I was talking about with Gliscor being a good decoy, is I'm going to face teams that specifically because of Gliscor are more offensive and a little bit more vulnerable to Lopunny. That's why the two go together so well. So I'm going to go here and click Retaliate. I know it would kill the Absol. And for those who don't know, Retaliate is a move that is doubled in power if one of my Pokemon has just fainted. And since Gothitelle is just fainted, he doesn't have anything that can take Retaliate well. It would have taken out Absol. He goes into Keldeo, and Keldeo takes it. Now, Lopunny and Scizor are the 2 Pokemon that could win this game for me. Lopunny is probably the most important right now, so I can't risk Keldeo having the Choice Scarf boosting its speed. So I'm going to switch out here in the Roserade. I have to be very safe with Lopunny because I know how important it is. So he goes for the Secret Sword, and based on that damage, he very well could be Scarf, so that's something I'm keeping in mind. He goes into Arachnid, and I just click my Giga Drain, which is just a fine enough move for anything he could do. I'm going to put this thing to sleep. I could have done that, which has the 25% chance that it misses and the play completely backfires. Or I have the 75% chance, plus the chance it stays asleep for at least 2 turns to completely neutralize this Pokemon and prevent him from getting sticky webs up. Here, I decide I'm just going to kind of play the odds because I'm not sure that I really want to continue being safe here. He does have the numbers advantage against me, so I'm just going to take my chance to try to get rid of this thing and put things back in my favor. Fortunately, I land the Sleep Powder, and Sludge Bomb will go and set him up to be in range of one more, and fortunately, he stays asleep again, so he actually goes first there, which was quite surprising, but stays asleep. So we will catch a little bit of a break there, and Roserade's able to take out the Arachnid. He won't get up any sticky webs, so that simplifies things. What does not simplify things is Absol coming in and getting another kill. So I'm now down 4-5. I'm going to bring in Lopunny here again, and I know he doesn't have anything that's going to appreciate Retaliate. He knows that too, so he's going to pick what he thinks is least important and let it go here. And that's going to be Mamoswine, which, fair play to him, wasn't really going to do anything against anything I have left, so probably the right move. Here he brings in Mew. I know he's defensive. I don't know his speed, but knowing he's defensive, I'd be very surprised if he was Scarf. So I'm good to just U-turn here. I know he's not Helmet. I'm going to go into Vikavolt, which I feel is a safe move. He's going to Roost up, but since I'm specially attacking with a Magnet, my Thunderbolt is going to do a lot to him. And he's not able to Roost off that damage, so he's going to have to pick something to take a move it's not going to appreciate. And he decides, instead of letting something else take damage, probably Kamo, he decides to throw away the Keldeo and make the safer move there. So now he brings in Kamo, and I was happy right now to see this. I was a little bit nervous because there is always the 5 chance Air Slash can miss, and every competitive Pokemon player has had a game come down to missing Air Slash. We've all been there. We've all done that. So I'm a little on edge here, but I'm also happy because I could have put Roost on Vikavolt, and that's what most people would have done. But instead, I put 4th move Air Slash because I was so committed to not letting this Kamo set up. And if I didn't have that Air Slash here, I would be in big trouble against this thing. But he's going to go for it, and I click my Air Slash. It lands, and I'm able to make sure that thing cannot autotomize. I'm guessing it had both that and Sword Stance, but since he only gets a Sword Stance, he will be able to take out Vikavolt, but Lopunny will be able to come in and take him out in return. So Lopunny gets the kill here on Kamo. We know Mew's in range and slower, and we know Absol's slower, and of course in range of close combat. I will just U-turn here on the Mew, because Retaliate wouldn't kill it there, so U-turn's just a safe way to get it killed. I'll go into my Scizor, we'll see if he does wind up having the Fire Blast. He does not, so Scizor will be able to wrap this battle up, and that'll be a 3-0 win in my favor. I'd say good game to the opponent, because even though it's a 3-0 result, I think there was a lot of back and forth in the battle, and I know especially early on, he definitely had strong moments where he put me in trouble, but I was able to bring it back, and fortunately we get started off in the right foot. And before I wrap this up, I have to give shoutouts to KHD, Moose, Sapphire, Sun, Will, B. Lucas, Blitz M, Bisharp, Vane, and Killer ASCII. All of these people compelled me to make this very video, so they're why this is being recorded right now. But also shoutouts to everyone who watched this battle. And this is what I love to do. I love doing these games, and I appreciate you guys chilling out, watching these while I do them. So, thank you for watching. Have yourself a good night, folks.